Evan Lazar here from Gillette Stadium, where the Patriots just wrapped up day 3 of training camp, and we just saw a very good performance from both quarterbacks, Cam Newton and Mac Jones. Cam, though, really stood out. I thought he edged Mac a little bit on day 3 as well as on day 2 with back-to-back strong practices from the veteran QB, finishing 14 of 20 and competitive team drills on Friday. And what we're seeing from Cam is much better rhythm, much better timing, anticipation, all those little details that we often talk about with the quarterbacks, and just on target, in rhythm type of throws. And he made some great throws, especially late in red zone work here today, where he hit Gunnar Olszewski coming across the formation with John Jones in coverage on a crossing route in the corner of the end zone. And Newton found Gunnar coming across, dropped it in the bucket perfectly along the sideline with a well-placed pass, with some touch, with some rhythm, with some anticipation. We start hearing these things with Cam Newton, and you start talking about some of the positives that you can get with the Patriots quarterback. He also seems to be growing a rapport with his 2 tight ends, Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. Both of those players were active in today's practice as well, and he hit Jonnu in stride coming across the formation. That probably would have been a touchdown if this was a live tackling type of situation where they were finishing off these plays. So another very good day out of Cam. I think he's starting to figure this offense out. It's a very complex playbook, but as we head into year 2 and start to stack together multiple practices and training camp under his belt, Cam looks like a much better quarterback than what we saw at times last year, and even what we saw in June during minicamp. So again, Newton starting to figure things out. On the other end of it, Mac Jones didn't have a bad day, but what we're starting to see with him is, I think, tinkering every single play constantly with ball placement. And I don't mean that Mac is having trouble throwing the ball accurately down the field. He's just not on the same page 100% of the time with his receivers. We saw countless times after incompletions, Mac Jones go over to his receivers and talk about the play. Where did I throw the ball wrong? What were you thinking? What were you seeing? Specifically with Nelson Agholor, who had a very good day on Friday. We're going to talk about that in a separate video. Mac Jones and Agholor spent multiple minutes, times, instances of talking through plays. Specifically early on in practice, Agholor ran a deep ball against the backup defense, went right behind the defense, had an easy touchdown, but the ball drifted towards his back shoulder and kind of was thrown behind the Pats receiver and caused him to sort of contort his body and have to catch the football in a difficult position, and it dropped off of Agholor's hands and fell incomplete. And right after the play, you saw Agholor and Mac discussing the play. Why did you run your route the way that you ran it? Why did you end up where you ended up? How can I tell that you're going to run the route that direction or that way? Just so that the ball placement is better and so that it's an easier catch for the Patriots wide out. You also saw later on in practice, Agholor and Mac Jones not on the same page again. When Agholor stopped his route, Mac Jones thought he was going to continue across the field on a slant. He stopped his route down, and Mike Jackson broke up the pass. Then after practice, Agholor and Mac Jones again talking after practice about route detail, not throwing the football or anything like that, but just discussing what the 2 of those guys are seeing out there. So these are errors that I think are easily correctable with more reps, with better chemistry with his receivers, but it does seem like Cam Newton is a little bit ahead of Mac Jones in that regard, and that might make it difficult for Mac to get in there right away as the starting quarterback. But both quarterbacks had good days on Friday. Not a whole lot of bad from the offense. It was a very good day for the Pats' new look offense, especially those new weapons, Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, and Nelson Agholor having strong practices. We'll break that down in our offense standouts video, so you can check that out on our YouTube channel, Patriots Press Pass, and I have a whole lot more detail in my notebook on CLNSmedia.com. I'm Evan Lazar for CLNS Media. Thanks for watching.